Speaking of multitasking, and most of us has 5 areas where we want to improve ourselves or have some plans or willing to meet somebody, right? And how you keep them all in focus.
You're multitasking, how you keep all of the subjects what?
Not the multitasking, it's an area. Let's say somebody wants to build a career, somebody wants to lose weight, somebody wants to meet the mate. So you have this plan in your life, right? You're saying like,
it's all in your vortex.
Right. It's all there. I believe it. I witness it, right?
Not somebody, me. Me.
I witness it, right?
Yeah.
So let's get more detailed, right? So I wants to meet somebody and I met the person, but it's not 100% right. So am I getting to get ready?
Yeah, you were that ready, but now depending upon your reaction to this, you might be more ready or less ready, depending upon if you enjoyed it and you didn't try to make it more than it was, and you saw it as a vibrational match to what you were ready for, and you didn't focus on what's missing, then you got readier. If you focus on what's missing, then you got less ready.
So what I do, I see like, okay, I realize it's not 100% what I'm looking for. Let me do the Abraham.
Well, it's not 100% of what I'm looking for, but what percentage of it is it that I'm looking for?
70, 80, I don't know. I never specify the percentage.
Well, we're not really asking for a percentage. We're more playing with you. As you acknowledge what good attraction it was, then you're ready for what's next. If you are disappointed about what your attraction was, then your momentum doesn't keep improving. Then you're not ready to be ready, to be ready, to be ready. Sometimes you're ready to be ready, and then you're so disappointed you're way less ready. Way less ready.
We're all human beings, right? So we
not all of us.
Okay. I got your point. So, for us, human beings, you get into the relationship and you understand it's not what exactly you're looking for.
And is this a good thing?
Yes.
Because it's a clarifying thing.
Yes.
So if you have this exposure to this person and you have this clarity that, well, it was fun to this degree, but there's something more that's in my vortex that this didn't satisfy, then that clarity that you find makes you ready to be ready for what's coming next. So the question is, do you feel clarity or disappointment? And only you know. Do you feel clarity or do you beat up on yourself or them? You'd be perfect if you were just different in these ways.
Yeah. I follow you for a little bit over a year, and I heard some of your advices, and where you say like, well, concentrate on 75% of this or whatever percentage of positive or getting ready to get ready to get ready. It's exactly your advice you gave me last time. And I start concentrating on this.
Here's the piece that we're inserting into it these days. And let's just call it the satisfaction factor. If you accept that you are an evolving being and that on all these variety of topics that you were describing, that you are closing the gap, that they are coming to fruition, that they are in the process of becoming the physical manifestation that you want. So they are all in varying degrees of becoming and readiness. And if you decide that nothing's ever going to really be done, and that as some things complete out in terms of manifestation, more things are going to come into the pipeline. So there's just this constant flow of wonderful things to hold your attention and for you to feel your evolution on. And if you let your dominant intention to be moment by moment on all subjects across the board, no matter what degree of unfolding that you're ready for them to be, if you decide that nothing matters more than that you feel satisfaction about this one and this one and this one, in other words, whatever subject and whatever place along the pipeline that you are in your allowing of the unfolding, that you are satisfied with what it is. Satisfied. If you let yourself be satisfied, because it's the dissatisfaction that makes you less ready, and the satisfaction that makes you more ready. So it requires an ability and a willingness to decipher and to focus and to, you might call it in your human terms. You might call it coping. You might call it making the best of something. But we call it vibrational management. We call it focusing yourself into clarity rather than into confusion. Focusing yourself into satisfaction rather than into dissatisfaction. Because in every moment, you've got that choice. This can be satisfying or not, and depending upon the way you look at it, you see.
When I concentrate on positive things, and it doesn't matter if it's only about mate or is it about a job, I got it, right? I receive it, and I understand it's the next step. It's not 100%. I concentrate on the positive things, and at some point I end up in a comfort zone where you are not 100% satisfied, but you're currently coping with this.
Hear this. We can help you make this less complicated. So let's say that there are 5 subjects, just for fun. There are more than that, but let's say there are 5 subjects. And you want to be specific on them because that's more fun than to be vague and not specific. It is more fun to be specific. But sometimes if you're specific about something that you haven't been very good at or you haven't been very satisfied about, then you amplify your dissatisfaction so it doesn't serve you. So rather than thinking about these 5 subjects and trying to manipulate or manage your attitude about them, just find something that you feel satisfied about and focus upon how it feels to be satisfied. Let your satisfaction be the thing that you're reaching for, not your attention to any individual subject. Now, sometimes the easiest way to do that is to find a subject that's really easy to feel satisfied about and just focus on that subject that's easy to be satisfied on. Because it doesn't matter what excuse you're using for your satisfaction, because satisfaction means alignment with broader perspective. Satisfaction means vibrational equivalency with your source energy. Satisfaction means readiness to receive the clues and impulses and words and guidance from your inner being who knows the best way for you to go. So rather than being in the trenches trying to work all of these 5 subjects into their perfect place, just find something that gives you an easy feeling of satisfaction and then just hold yourself there as best you can and then begin observing the way all of these 5 subjects begin to represent themselves in a more positive way in your experience.
I understand. And it's exactly what I'm trying to do.
All right.
Let's say I'm going to work and I relax in and I'm behind of the schedule, and I just said like, okay, let's see how it will unfold.
And may we remind you that what happens after you get to work is much more about what you were doing with your satisfaction factor than what was going on at work. You can prepare yourself. You can put yourself in a position where there could be all kinds of wonky things going on at work, but they won't come to you if you have allowed anything to make you feel happy about your life. For everyone's benefit, let us say, the vibrational state in which you enter the room is key to everything, not what's going on in the room. And when you've got your nose where it doesn't belong in trying to control the circumstances of what's going on in the room, you never get very far because you can't control all those crazy people.
That's what I want to say. It's like you walk in and you prepare yourself and magically somebody call and say, oh, we are not ready. So you have extra day to finish whatever you are doing. And it's just like, you can't even imagine that in your life, right? So it's just, I call it a magic, right? Your magic.
Esther will say on a pretty regular basis, there's no way I could have orchestrated that. Something did, but there's no way I could have manipulated or managed that configuration of cooperation. Yeah.
But it's make me so comfortable because it creates a comfortable zone, and now I don't want to move. But sometimes I'm just sitting and saying like...
Here's what's not valid about that statement. If you are consistently feeling satisfaction, then that means you are consistently in the receiving mode. And if you are consistently in the receiving mode, you're getting all kinds of insights and impulses and things that sound like a really good idea. And so if you will just accept that your inner being, that what's in your vortex is understood, and everything that is a cooperative component to the things that you wish, what we're getting at is if you can trust that getting into the receiving mode is really all you need to do, and that when you get there, you will be led, inspired, impulsed, guided through your path of least resistance to the thing that will satisfy you the most. We are certain that there has never been in all of the world a more satisfying experience for two people than that experience that came because they were both ready to be ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready. You see what we're getting at? So if you're enjoying the process and not worried about the results, then your life is just full of these kinds of unfoldings where every day is rich and full and fertile with lovely things that satisfy who you really are.
So I just sitting in 70% comfortable zone. I don't have to do anything. It just will disappear.
Not 70%, 100%. Receiving.
That's my goal, to get to the 100%. 100% satisfying job, 100% satisfying body.
But you see, when you think too hard, for a while we called this gathering the science of deliberate creation, but people acted just like you. Gotta figure this out, I gotta wrestle it to the ground. What percentage am I? Where am I on the chart? What's my level of accomplishment? Where am I? And then we've decided to call this the art of allowing. The art of allowing your alignment with who you are, because you've already done the work. Contrast step 1 has already caused you to ask for what you want. Source has already lined it all up and it's vibrationally a done deal. When you get into the receiving mode, then that smooth transfer, then the thoughts turning to things. That's the thing that we want you to understand. It's vibrations turning to thoughts, thoughts turning to things. And it's this constant unfolding for your satisfaction, not for your reclaiming, not for your proving, not for your evidence, not for your staking of your claim, not for your mark on the chart, not for your redemption, but for your satisfaction, for your alignment, for your allowing who you really are to be present with you here and now, for the fun of it, for the joy of it. You see.
Thank you.
Really good.